Calling back to order the Sac City Unified School District Board of Education meeting. We have the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the 2016 summer. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I speak pretty loud. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the 2016 Summer of Service ambassadors from all district high schools.
Come on up.
Come on up.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you can all just please stay here for a moment. Member Rodriguez?
Thank you, President Pritchett. So I've got a few kind words to say about you, and then I'm going to come down and deliver a certificate to you, so stay right there. And then after, you'll be able to express some words back to the board and the audience that's here before us. So in 2016, Sacramento City Unified School District Summer Ambassador Program engaged high school age students who served as liaisons at our elementary, middle, and high school sites. They were required to apply and participate in group interview process. Out of 101 high school applicants, 53 highly motivated, committed, and excited students were selected. All ambassadors attended 4 professional development sessions. They provided student voice at staff meetings, offered support to program managers, led activities specific to their summer program sites, and developed a rigorous program evaluation system. At the end of the summer, at the end of the program, ambassadors earned 5 high school elective credits, a monetary stipend for their service, work experience, volunteer hours, certificate of recognition, and completion of a service learning reflection project. Summer of Service Ambassador service has been an invaluable component to this summer's success. Sacramento City Unified School District is proud to recognize the Summer Service Ambassadors as our stellar students. So we might have to have smaller people like myself up in the front and taller people like yourselves up in the back.
Act like you like each other. Stand up. They gotta be like. Would you like to say something? Perfect. Got your people. The microphone is yours.
Hi, I'm Giovanni Figueroa. I go to Luther. Hi. Hi, my name is Giovanni Figueroa. I go to Luther Redmond High School.
Woo. My name is Alika Hawkins, and I attend Rosemont High School.
First, I want to say thank you, Miss Christina and Mr. Laurier. I'm so glad I was able to be a part from this program, this opportunity. This was my second year in this program, so I got a lot of experience out of it. I'm so glad that that the school district does this for us also, and that Mr. Laurier and Miss Christina were there for making this program for us, and then making those 4 professional days. Those days they helped us all out, and we made a big community out of it where we could extend our further knowledge for school later on, and then how we developed a survey for how we we presented each teacher and seen how they did, and I think that would be good for us, and we have further knowledge in how teachers work. I want to for further years I want to major in performing arts, and I want to become a teacher for elementary kids. I had a wonderful opportunity this year to teach them how to dance also, and I did it also last year.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is my second year also. However, it is my last year because I'm going into my senior year. But I want to say that this program was an amazing opportunity, and it was an amazing experience. I realized I like working with kids, and I think that this job really gave me kind of an outlet to see how I would do. It's given me a newfound appreciation for my teachers because this is really, really hard. So I'm just glad that this program was there to give me the opportunity to do what I like. And I enjoyed it. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who had a part in it. And that's it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Can we get each of you just a name of what schools you are with so we have an idea who's joined us tonight? Or maybe starting from this side? The Stanford.
What school?
What school?
Hiram Johnson.
Back to you.
West Campus High School.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your hard work. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you. Okay. Item 5.0. Announcement of action taken in closed session.
None, Madam President.
Thank you. Item 6.0, agenda adoption.
Move the agenda.
Thank you. I got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Great. All right. Student Board Member Rosas.
This meeting of the Sacramento City School Board is being recorded in its entirety and will be cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T Uverse. Today's meeting will air Saturday, August 6th at 9 a.m., Monday, August 8th at 9 a.m., and webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. We welcome members of the audience to address the board. Please fill out a speaker form located in the back of a community room and give them to our Chief Communications Officer, Mr. Ross. Prior to the conclusion of the item's presentation, please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Please limit comments during public comment to items that are not on the agenda. If you do comment on an item that is on the agenda, we will ask that you please defer your comment until your item comes up on the agenda. Please also turn off your cell phones or place them on silent or vibrate.
Fantastic. Good job. Thank you. And for those that see that we have a new face on the board, I'd like to welcome our new student board member, Natalie Rosas. We're happy to have you. And also to take a moment to recognize our past student board member, Asami Soto, in the audience. Thank you. Seto, sorry. That was my fault. Asami. I know, yeah, you know. Okay. All right. Item 7.0, public comment.
We have 7 comments on item 7.0. I'll read the first 4 names. The folks can please line up behind the microphone in the order you're called. Martha Garrity, Rachel Cavalli, Annette Daglow, and Darlene Anderson.
Come on it.
Good evening. My name is Martha Garrity, and I'm a 4th generation Sacramento native. I work for HealthNet. I represent Northern California for health education programs. And I come to you today with a pressing matter related to oral health. As a granddaughter of a pioneer dentist from Sacramento City, and as a daughter of one of the leaders in Sacramento City Unified School District who nationally opened the door to parent involvement in some of the most at-risk schools, especially Sac City Unified. And then as a mother who has educated my children at Sac City Unified School District, I come to you with a pressing matter related to oral health. HealthNet is part of the GMC Oral Health Plan, and we partner with Liberty. And we know the critical problem that is faced by our students in the school district, especially in some of the most diverse neighborhoods of Sacramento, such as Oak Park, South Sacramento, North Sacramento, to name a few. I've worked at many years, many hours collaboratively with lots of organizations on a variety of community projects, and feel that this project that I'm going to have my colleague Rachel address with you is very, very pressing. Oral health problems are the #1 reason for missed days of school. In Sacramento County, 24% of school-aged children within the school districts of the Sacramento County had evidence of untreated dental decay. Dental decay in California leads to 500,000 kids miss school days for a dental problem, costing schools almost $31 million. This problem is a critical problem in our county. We've talked with Jay Hansen, many of you know me, and we want to address it through providing an opportunity to the school district related to education, prevention, and oral health screenings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. I'm Rachel Cavalli. I'm the program manager for Early Smiles Sacramento, and under the Center for Oral Health, we're a nonprofit organization. And I'm here to talk to you about some of the things that Martha mentioned and offer some solutions to the problems that she discussed. Early Smiles Sacramento and their partners, Access Dental, Liberty Dental, HealthNet, Sacramento Covered, First 5, and Sacramento District Dental Society goals are to serve the underserved population. And we mean to do this by going to the school sites, offering free screenings as well as oral health education, navigation to the plans, even if they're not covered under Medi-Cal or Dental-Cal. We will find them a dental home. We will also provide fluoride and sealants eventually. Our goal is for the first year to screen 12,000 students. I have given you a package, 3 different pieces of paper, and enclosed in the materials you'll see that there are 22 school districts in your district that are falling under our criteria of 70% students that have 70% or more reduced or free meals. And also information about Early Smiles, the program itself. And I really hope this is something that the board members feel that their students can benefit from. Thank you for your time.
Great. I think we have a couple questions from board members. Member Rodriguez.
Thank you, President Pritchett, and thank you, ladies, for coming and
I forgot to
providing.
mention, there's an MOU in there too.
Yeah, exactly. So I have some questions about this, and so I'm asking to see if perhaps we can meet to discuss this. Nathaniel here will get your phone number because I do have some questions. I see a lot of the schools that I'm a representative on this list here, and I think it would be beneficial. So the sooner we can meet, the better.
Vice President Hansen.
Thanks. I just wanted to say thanks for coming and sharing the information with us. We just met for the first time a couple days ago, and I thought instead of waiting to get something on the agenda and doing something more formal, that it would be valuable just for all of us to hear the work that this group is willing to do free dental care for our students. And I knew that there'd be a lot of support among the board and the staff, administration of the district. So Diana's right. If we can, have an opportunity to set up some meetings and figure out what it is that could be provided, and then we can work through the process of the district.
Right. I know school's starting soon, so my goal is to get started as soon as possible and just start screening and getting the kids the treatment they deserve and need. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you for offering that. Ms. Degler.
I'm Annette Deglow. I'm a former employee of the Sacramento City Unified School District, and I'm here tonight. You have a letter from me. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to get you all copies, but I'll email a copy of the attachments to you later. But I'd like your help in verifying my first day of employment and any sick leave that I might have left with the district. My current employer has asked me to verify my employment by producing a September 1962 pay stub, and I'm really having a little difficulty finding it, okay? So instead, I'm offering some documents. If you'd like to turn on your machine, I'll offer the major one just to, because I don't have any documents for you to share, but my offer in employment, and I guess one would say it has to be 1962, because if you notice what the annual salary was, $5,091 for the year. So anyway, I think that's sufficient to make that point. But I have a number of documents for you, scheduled classes, reports on my salary, my other documents here that I have for you. The other thing that I am concerned about is that I may have sick leave. I taught as a full-time instructor, but I also did per session and I did summer school. And I'm not sure that those sick leaves were ever banked any place or accumulated, and I'd like to make sure that I can get those transferred to my current employer. So if you'll look over the document, I do have a meeting with your HR already scheduled, so we're going to go meet now and review the documents. So I appreciate your time and any assistance you can give me in researching this, and I realize most of you probably weren't even here in 1962, so glad to see you, okay? And it was a great pleasure. I must tell you, the greatest experience was teaching for the Sacramento City Unified School District. Thank you.
Annette, I'm actually quite surprised that you can't find a document from 1962. I know how organized you are. Member Rodriguez.
1972 on, I can do that.
Yeah,
Prior to that, my father took care of all my records, okay?
We have one question. Member Rodriguez?
It's not even a question. It's such a rare occasion that we are graced with your presence here, and I just
hardly. I think there's some people behind me that wouldn't say that, but that's okay.
I have very fond memories of you in my early days here on the board, and just in expression of gratitude for everything you've done for Sac City Unified School District. This is clearly evidence that you've been here with us, for a very long time. And, I don't know if many of you up here know that the reason why we all hold our seats the way we hold them today is because of this fantastic woman right here in front of us. So just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you and thank you and thank you again for everything.
I truly, when I say, if I ever had to go back to work again, I'd want to go back to a junior high. Okay, that was the greatest experience I ever had. Thank you.
We would be lucky to have you. Yes. I do have one request of staff, Constance. Once you meet with Ms. Deglow, can you please contact me to update me of what's happening? And we're happy to help you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. Can you leave that board on just for a little bit? put it upside down or you put it right side up?
Right, upside down. There you go.
I'm not sure if, yeah, you're aware that the new ed data came out and it talks about where African Americans are suspended or expelled or the behavior. And, you know, there's a lot of data there on ed data. And it really talks about the ability to achieve in Sac City for African American children. And because I've been coming so long, I feel that we live under a republic. And under a republic, it doesn't mean that you have to have a whole group of people, like in a democracy, coming behind you and pointing out an issue. The issue here is African American children should have, and the parents should be concerned about what's happening with their subgroup of children. And I'm concerned because I've been coming for a long time, saying the same thing and getting this resistance like it's not really relevant. But it is relevant. It's relevant to the community I represent. Even though I'm not elected to represent them, I am a member of the community. And I am a person of interest. I've volunteered my time in this district, and I don't know how to further communicate that the board should have a workshop on what's happening to African American children in their district in regards to suspensions, expulsions, and in regards to the inability for them to achieve, you know, past the 50th percentile. A lot of kids are not achieving. I'm so grateful. My young one did graduate above proficient, and he is autistic. But that lets me know that if you have the right skills to advocate, you can advocate and things can happen positive. So I don't know. This is a new school year. I don't know what the plans are for this, for the board to address the issues, for the failure rate of African Americans and the dropout rate, and across the board, the inability for African American children to be as successful as their counterparts. But I think it is something that needs to be addressed, and I'm hoping that this year the board will address it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 3 more comments on 7.0 from Carolyn Nutter, Stephen Mitchell, and Angie Sutherland.
And one more.
And one more. From Travis Roderick.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Carolyn Nutter. I'm the training director at ITAP. I wanted to first thank you for your assistance in rectifying the situation with the financial aid for my students last year. I am here, however, still, aside from thanking you, in saying that we have one more problem, and that is that my veteran was denied his financial aid and his Pell Grant because he hadn't received his GI Bill. That, to me, is not an acceptable option, and that the school district would not stand behind the veterans of our country is kind of, forgive me, but disgusting. He was following the instructions of Ms. Galloway at Charles A. Jones, told he did not need to go to the front desk to receive a receipt. However, that was standard practice for the other students. And that had been a moving target for my veteran students, so I took it at face value. The contract was then voided, or they walked away from it mid-semester, and he did not have the opportunity to rectify the situation as the 2 or 3 previous veterans in the program had the opportunity to do. And then the school district denied his claim for financial aid simply because he is a veteran and received his financial aid from the GI Bill. So again, thank you for helping the other 8 students, but I'm disappointed that the district has denied this one student, and I am here on behalf of him to fight for his family because he was relying on that money to purchase tools and continue his education, which he has since now completed. He did not miss a day of class. He received extremely high grades in class, and he is now trying to get a job with less than a full toolbox in his hands, because tools are expensive to get a trade, and required to get a job in the industry, and he was relying on that Pell Grant to do so. So please assist him in getting this rectified so that he can continue on his path. Thank you very much.
Good evening, President of the board members. I don't know if you guys remember from the last time I came, but I know last time I came, there was a big thing with the kids in school, and everybody gave support, how much they appreciate the veterans and the military and this and that. And I didn't feel that same love when it came to me. President of the board, you said, I appreciate you, but no one else said anything. But that's neither here nor there. But my thing is, the letter I received said pretty much, okay, so, well, the GI Bill paid for your tuition, so we don't feel like we're responsible for paying the rest of that. I have a conversation that I have recorded with Susan Galloway, and pretty much what she's saying, well, we knew that we weren't going to do this before you guys started class, but we didn't feel the need to tell you that before you started class. So we started class. If I knew that I wasn't going to get all my funding, then I could have went to a different school. I could have did a different trade or anything like that. So I pretty much had to use my entire savings to pay for stuff while I was going to school that I should have been getting from my Pell Grant through the reimbursements that you get. And I don't think that's fair. I was going to come up here and be a jerk and fuss at you, but it's not your fault. You guys are representing everyone else. So I just wanted you guys to represent me as well. Being that I signed up to be a member of your school district through Charles A. Jones, and pretty much they just said, well, we're not dealing with them no more. You can go and figure it out on your own. We didn't get a phone call from them. We didn't get any letters saying that we're not dealing with ITAP anymore, so anything you had set up with us is not going to happen. We just got pretty much left in the wind. So I'm here again, to try to get some answers and find out what's going to go on and how I'm going to do for my family.
Thank you. Can you state your name for the record?
Stephen Mitchell.
Thank you. Mr. Mitchell, can you take my business card and reach out to me individually? And Deputy Superintendent Allen, if you can please give the board, make sure the board gets a full report of what happened in this instance, and by the end of next week. And I'll meet with you one-on-one. Okay? You're welcome. And we do appreciate you. All right. All of us.
Hello, good evening. I'm Travis Roderick. I'm an ITAP graduate. You've seen me before. I would like to thank you guys and your help resolving our conflict that we got into. It put a lot of us in a bind, and we've graduated. I can't tell you how much you guys' help meant to me. I've gone back to work. I'm slowly digging my way out of the hole that I created while I was in school. Just getting to school, supplies, there's a house payment, there's everything. And I cannot imagine how Mr. Mitchell feels thinking that you have something and that's not there. That would put me in a huge bind. It did put me in a huge bind for a little bit. And I'm just asking for your guys' support the way that you helped us out to help him out, because I feel it's very similar situation, very similar circumstances. I'm not sure what the differentiating factor between me and Mr. Mitchell, but again, thank you guys for your support.
Thank you. Hello.
Good evening. I'm Angie Sutherland. I'm a parent, and I have copies for all of you of a new Dear Colleague guidance letter from the U.S. Department of Education. It provides guidance on behavioral support for students, and I also have a request. I come up here, and I think I've talked about this several times over the last couple of years, but if you could please consider providing more behavior support in our school district, making it more of a priority, providing training. We need, and then also we have schools that are doing it well. We can use those schools as models, and that way encourage other schools to be more supportive as well. I have a little flyer that I've updated with information about my daughter and what her experiences was. She did have a bad experience at a school, and complete opposite at another school. So I know that it's not her, it's the support. She has challenges, but if she's in a nurturing and supportive environment, she can do it. She's actually going back into general education next year after being at this school for 2 years. So the general ed teacher said she's a model student. So I find that a complete contrast to her previous experience. I don't always like to talk about this, but I think it's important that we share our stories because we need to inspire change. And Zoe still, she still hasn't fully recovered from all of this, and she does reference it. She also knows that she's doing well now. So, and I know she's thankful for that. But if you could please read this set of guidelines, and also think about, we do have a good school discipline policies. Those have been revised. If you could take a look at the teacher's contract at their safety article on safety, it may be in conflict a little bit with that, with when a teacher can remove a student from class, especially if they're doing it routinely and excessively. That's a signal there that either the behavior plan that they have isn't working or they need to try something else. So just wanted to just reiterate the need for more training and better implementation. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, we have a couple, Ms. Sutherland. We have a few board member Arroyo.
Thank you, Angie, for coming up again. Just a comment more than anything. I really hope that you continue to come. I don't think it's a bother, and I think we welcome any feedback, any comments, any suggestions. I think that we have conversations with the superintendent, with staff, getting the feedback that comes. And I think I see it as a cycle, right? It's cyclical, and I think I had comment shared with you in that as much as we get your input and your information and shared with the superintendent, and then staff works on it, and then hopefully trickles to the schools, it's very important that you come back and let us know what is working, what it's not. We will never get everything solved in one jump, right? But hearing what's working, what it's not, and even when the news are not necessarily very pleasing, actually that's even more important that you come and let us know. So you're always welcome, and actually more than welcome, you are requested to come and let us know when things are not, so that we can continue to move the ball forward with this population that is so important to our district. So thank you.
Thanks.
Vice President Ryan.
Thank you. Angie, I just want to echo Board Member Arroyo's statements. You are such a constant and courageous parent advocate in the district. I want to thank you for consistently bringing before us strong information that helps us make informed decisions, but also being willing to share your daughter's story and how your daughter's story has really shaped the advocacy that you do day in, day out in the district. I did also want to point out that I think you hit the nail on the head on so much of what we need to be doing in the district, prioritizing and funding early intervention, behavior supports, training for our educators. And these are all things that we take to heart and hope to be able to do if we're successful in passing Measure G.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming tonight. Do you have any other? Oh, no more public comment. All right. Item 8.0, consent agenda. Can I get a motion? Thank you. I got a motion in a few seconds. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Great. Oh, we have...
I apologize. We do have comments on consent items E and F.
Okay.
Both from Ms. Darlene Anderson.
Sorry, but as far as 8.1E, the Williams Act, because the governing board has not adopted curriculum, and what that looks like for children in special ed is Common Core, but it doesn't talk about how to get there. So I know that books are not being purchased at all the school sites. So I don't know, I have not seen the actual report of where children don't have books, because I know that parents have complained about no books. So I don't know how closely this district is following Williams. Number one, for number E. And for F, is approve a course of study for integrated math units. So is that for all students or just for some students? Because it's really not clear because of the way that the district has children placed in mild to moderate. Doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have the ability to do that coursework. Just means that perhaps they may not have access to the general curriculum or the state standards for their age. And it's really getting really kind of confusing because if the district is working towards separate and unequal, that's crazy because we're going into isolated and separate environments. And there is no way that children will be able to get caught up if they're not having access to grade level curriculum. And so asking the governing board how this all works at the local school sites is kind of crazy because it doesn't work. And I understand what the advocacy means in advocating for one child, but I can't, it's impossible because the DAC doesn't exist anymore and there's no other real parent groups that exist to have a conversation about what the district is actually doing. And so as parents really don't know. They don't know what to expect when they go to the school site and there's no books for their children. And then if they have IEPs, those goals are written under Common Core standards, which mean absolutely nothing to any of those parents. And so, because it's not working towards grade level student achievement. And so it's the governing board's responsibility to ensure that we're educating children. And I don't know how we do that if we're not having grade level curriculum for all kids. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we had a motion and a second for the consent agenda. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Great, thank you. Item 9.0, communications. 9.1, employee organization reports. CSA? SCTA?
Good evening, President Pritchett and members of the school board. I hope you're having a healthy and restful summer. By the way, I'm Nikki Malewski, president of SCTA. Anyway, with the start of the school year, less than a month away, we are looking forward to the 2016-2017 school year with lots of anticipation. We are glad we were able to agree on a wage improvement that will take a step, just a step, in being able to recruit and retain educators to reflect the diversity of our incredibly diverse student population. And on a side note, I would like to publicly state our appreciation for the payroll department and human resources in getting our retro check out sooner than we anticipated, and we appreciate that. Excuse me. Not surprising, the summer has been very busy. We have been working with the district to implement collaboration time on Thursdays and are close to finalizing agreements on induction and mentoring for student teachers. We have also been working with the district on revamping the new teacher orientation, now scheduled for August 22nd. We look forward to meeting with the district board member, Ryan, and district staff to hear more about the proposed parcel tax and understand that its ultimate success requires the input and support of district certificated staff. We do, however, remain concerned regarding the lack of cooperation from the Equity Office. And it's moving full speed ahead with its top-down Spark program. The unfortunate thing is that we, along with a variety of community stakeholders, strongly advocate for restorative practices culture, but we continue to run into a brick wall in dealing with the Equity Office. Our district deserves so much better than this. On a final and more upbeat note, by now, you are certainly aware that the initiative to extend Proposition 30 will be on the ballot as Proposition 55. A number of significant elected officials and organizations are firmly on the record in support of Proposition 55, including the California Teachers Association and the California Medical Association. We strongly urge this body to put on the record its support for Proposition 55, and thank you for the board members I've talked to about that already. It'd be really important for us to ensure that its passage occurs. It is definitely one significant step in our campaign to make Sac City the destination district in our region. Thank you very much.
Thank you. SEIU, Teamsters, UPE, All right, item 9.2, District Parent Advisory Committees, Community Advisory Committee. Welcome back.
Sutherland. I'm the chair of the Community Advisory Committee for Special Education. He's passing out our new brochure for the coming year. We've got some workshops planned and lots of meetings planned, and the brochures and flyers are being translated, sent out by the special ed department to get those translated. I did get a request the other day, hey, is the CAC going to have any workshops in other languages? So that's something that would be really wonderful and something we're going to explore at our next meeting, is possibly having some that are not done in English, but they're done in another language, and then maybe translated into English. So we'll try that out. We also have a new subcommittee called the CAC Special Education Student Outcomes Subcommittee. We had our first meeting on Tuesday night. We're working collaboratively with the district we're brainstorming right now on what the purpose and what the deliverables will be. But the main reason we formed was because in order to be effective advisors, we really need to know our students, how they're learning and how they're doing, where they're at. And we really don't know everything that we need to know to do that. And I don't know that all of you guys do either, so we'll be sharing information with you. One of the concerns that came up was that the audit that was mentioned at the June 28th meeting, the special education audit, the CAC wasn't informed of that, just through the passing comment at the meeting. And we feel that we're the advisory body to the district for special education, that we should be involved in scoping this audit and also in selecting who the auditor will be. And so we would like to know what the district intends for the CAC's role to be for that. We have also discussed having a parallel audit of our own if needed, but we would like to be a part of this process. Our next subcommittee meeting is Tuesday, August 9th, here at Cerna Center, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., and it's in the Montana room, so anyone is welcome to come. It's a small committee. We have two people from the district, and the rest are parents. And then our next general meeting is August 23rd here at Cerna Center. We do have childcare now for every meeting, and we do have a Spanish translator for every meeting, and we can provide translators in advance notice for other languages. So the more parents and the more school staff and the more district staff that can come, the better. Thank you.
Angie, hold on just one. Member Rodriguez.
Hello.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for all of the work that you've done with CAC. And not just you, but the entire team that shows up. Those meetings are amazing and help me along as I try to learn and unravel this special ed process that we have, not only with our district, but I don't think you ever take your board member hat off when you go out and people know that you're a board member and they ask you all these questions like, my kid is not, the teacher's not fulfilling their IEP and they live in Los Angeles or San Jose or someplace that you don't represent. And I know that I've referred a lot of those parents over to you for help and guidance. So I just want to thank you for that. I don't know if real recent, as of last month, I did refer somebody to you, another parent, and I don't know if she's reached out to you just yet, but if not, she probably will pretty soon. So thank you in advance.
Yes, yeah, it's really a team, so it's not just me. It's like you said, it's everybody. We have a great group, and I think we work really collaboratively as well. So
and you work collaboratively with the board.
Mhm.
And I think you guys are true example setters, and you make us look good. So
Oh, thank you. Well, we're not always going to be easy on you.
we expect that you don't, because that's how we get things to improve. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice President Ryan.
Angie, I just wanted to ask a couple questions. You graciously earlier today sent out a letter detailing the proposed audit that would be occurring. Can you talk a little bit more about your specific concerns with what you've heard so far, and then any follow-up conversations you've had with the district since the mention of the audit?
Yeah, we haven't had any conversations other than asking in kind of general terms, do you know more about this? And I guess it's it's something new. So we didn't, and we haven't really had a general meeting after the June 28th meeting when it came out. We haven't had a general meeting. So we haven't had a chance to ask our special ed director. But we're planning to do that and learn more, and hopefully we can be involved some more on that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that I don't know much about the organization that has, I don't know if the organization's actually been selected, but it would be, I think, in all of our best interests to see if that's really, that's really their specialty to be able to do that, and if they're the best entity to be able to do that.
I'd love to make a request of staff, because I just turned to Deputy Superintendent Lisa Allen to ask if we knew who the organization selected to conduct the audit was. She was not aware, so I would love to get follow-up information on that and their qualifications. I also would love, if we have not in fact selected, or even if we have selected an auditor, to get a sense of, from you, given the advisory nature of the CAC, what you would like to see in an audit, what you feel is necessary to really evaluate effectively the robust nature of the work, areas for improvement, et cetera. And then I would also love to see if you, given the work you've been doing both at a local and state level, have recommendations on third-party independent evaluators who really are empowered to do this work.
I think it definitely needs to be an independent evaluator that isn't closely already associated or aligned with the entity. Not having discussed this with our CAC, of course, I don't know what the CAC would like to be included in the audit or thinks needs to be. But me as a parent, I think it needs to really be objectively looked at, and looked at maybe some other districts that have done this, either through their own process where they were doing a self-audit, or whether they were actually audited, perhaps like through the state, just to look at some of the different information that was
I would hope that at minimum, before a contract is determined, that conversation would occur with the CAC. And I very much appreciated your comment that you are willing to, and even in discussion about creating your own independent evaluation or trying to fund your own independent evaluation. But in an ideal world, we would work with our advisory committees so that we are contracting the very best person, so that we're not duplicating efforts or requiring our community advocates to fundraise to be able to successfully execute parallel audits.
Thank you.
Once again, Angie, thank you for all your hard work.
Sure, thank you.
All right, District English Learner Advisory Committee. Gifted and Talented Education Advisory Committee. Indian Education Parent Committee. All right, item 9.3, Superintendent's Report. All right. 9.4, President's Report. I do not have a report as well. Item 9.5, Student Board Member Report. You're fine.
So, first off, I would like to say how happy I am to be here today representing the students in Sacramento. I've had the privilege of working with the Student Advisory Council for what's going on, I think, my third year now, and I'm extremely happy to say that I'll be able to represent them this year also. Currently in the Student Advisory Council, we will be having a meeting actually tomorrow. And right now we're just trying to get everybody situated in their new positions. And we're kind of getting ready to choose a new initiatives for next year. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Oh, Member Arroyo?
Welcome. You have a great mentor here, a former predecessor, former student trustee Saito, and this is your bully pulpit as much as is ours, and we fully welcome your feedback, your comments, and your full involvement and participation in the discussion. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, call us, and actually be part of it. So can't wait to see you involved in the discussions here up here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right. Item 9.6, information sharing by board members. Member Rodriguez?
Just a couple of quick things. Welcome, Ms. Rosas. And also, if you can't tell, we tend to grow a very special relationship with our student board members. So I look forward to growing that relationship with you. And then just as a heads up for the next time around, for next month when we do our board sharing, Member Wu and myself will have the NALEO conference presentation for everyone at that meeting. Thank you.
Good, thank you. All right, seeing no other. Oh. Vice President Ryan.
Just had a few quick updates. One, I see our facility staff in the audience, and I want to thank and recognize what has been the culmination of more than a half-year-long effort to formalize a partnership and agreement with River Oaks Family Resource Center. Many of you know we reopened the Fruit Ridge Elementary School site as the Fruit Ridge Community Collaborative. There is now 22 nonprofits that are serving our community in a variety of ways at the site, and what's going to complete that incredible community hub is River Oaks Family Resource Center, which we have officially entered into an agreement with so that they will be located in the Roosevelt Wing, which is a large portion of the site, beginning this fall. We are very excited about what that will mean in terms of services for the surrounding community. Just a couple things I want to mention. Obviously, much has been written about summer melt and how difficult it is to ensure that our students continue to retain their learning during the summer months. We have some outstanding summer programs going on at Sac City Unified, and I've been very fortunate to participate in several activities to support those programs over the last few weeks. I had an opportunity to speak to about 1,000 students at families at the Visions graduation at Sac State. I was told it was the first time that Sac State's president graced us with their presence. We were very fortunate to have President Nelson there speaking to students and encouraging them to come forward and become Hornets in upcoming years. I'm also happy to say that President Nelson's leadership, alongside the leadership of the district and some of our other partnerships, our partners like Mayor-elect Darrell Steinberg, has allowed us to pursue a boot camp, which we will be launching at Sac State August 16th week, serving more than 100 Hiram Johnson youth to help them with skills to become college and career ready, but also intern ready, so that we are in fact empowering our youth to go out and get meaningful paid internships. And so we're really excited to launch that and looking forward to grow that throughout the district. Finally, I wanted to mention that I've had an opportunity to participate in several activities for our Freedom Schools initiative, which, as you may be aware, is part of the Children's Defense Fund, an incredible program, probably one of the most powerful summer programs I've ever borne witness to. I've been a reader as part of the Harambe at Cesar Chavez. I've participated in college visits for UC Davis. And I've also had the unique pleasure of having my daughter, who's in first grade, participate in the Phoenix Park program. What I've seen is that my daughter, in the 5 weeks that she's been in the program, has had her confidence grow exponentially, her love of literacy, but more than anything else, her connection to her African culture. And as a result of that, the pride that she has and her real belief that she can affect change in the world. And so to see that we have a program like that serving hundreds of students in the summer in the district is extremely heartwarming, to say the least. And I hope that we'll continue to grow the effort moving forward.
Thank you. Vice President Hansen.
Thank you. I guess I'll also chime in and say thanks to the good work at the facilities department. So Jim, please pass that on to the folks. As you well know, during the summertime, we have to do the vast majority of our work at our schools. And I've visited a number of sites, and folks are working really hard. I know they're putting in a lot of overtime hours, and I'm watching the superintendents on the job, cajoling their workers to please accept overtime so they can have the schools open and ready when our students and our staff come back. In particular, I want to invite folks, and we'll send out a formal invitation, but just as a note, on August 24th, we're going to have the grand opening of Washington Elementary School. That's on a Wednesday afternoon, probably approximately 5:30 to 7. We're partnering with the city on that. They're going to allow us to close down the street in front of the school so we can have a proper celebration. So we're very excited about that. And summertime doesn't really mean too much, unfortunately, to a normal the working folks, so we've just been struggling along doing our work, but we're doing lots of meetings on the central kitchen is moving forward. So I'm proud we're making some good progress on that. And the Floyd Farms project has been kind of moving slowly, but I see some work happening on that, and I hope to have some updates in mid-September for our big farm at the Leotado Floyd Elementary Schools. I've done some reading too at the Roberts Family Group. That really is a great program, so it was fun to spend a half day with the students there.
Can you give us the date for the Washington event?
Yes. Wednesday, August 24th. We'll put out a formal invitation.
Okay. Thank you.
That'll be for all the staff at the school and the principal, and we're inviting the students that have already signed up as well. We've got about 200 students.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Item 9.7, board committee reports. I'm assuming that was kind of your report, Member Hansen, Vice President Hansen.
I suppose.
All right. Well,
News to me.
by next month we'll have a lot more.
Yeah, we'll have something for next month. Nothing to report.
Okay. Thank you. Item 10.0, board workshop, strategic plan, and other initiatives. 10.1, monthly facilities update.
Thank you, board members, Deputy Superintendent Allen, and Board President Pritchett. So tonight I have the honor of giving the facilities update, and mainly this presentation will focus on our summer construction activities. There we go. So before I begin with the projects I'd like to highlight, I'd like to give you a little background. We've had crews working at 41 of our school sites this summer, and they've been working on a total of 80 different projects at those 41 sites. This includes everything from paving, roofing, concrete replacement, HVAC, flooring, restroom upgrades, dry rot repairs, and many more pieces of work. Just as a reminder, this is our last year of our ERP funding, so that was what was driving a lot of the volume of the work. ERP comes in lots of little different projects, and so that's why we had 80 projects. That would normally be what a summer would be for us. So tonight I'll be focusing mainly on the 8 schools listed here. So first up, Hiram Johnson High School. This was an ERP project. On the left, you can see we had a staircase that people could walk under, potentially sustain an injury to their head. So we submitted that as an application to the state and received funding to put what we're calling guardrails, if you will, under that. The picture to the right was the metal that was going to be used for that during the construction. And here we have the metal painted to match the Hiram red color at the school site. At Johnstone Middle School, we had roof repairs going on. I know I've showed you many different roof replacements over the years, but we're really doing a lot of those. We sustain a lot of damage when we have leaks. Creates dry rot, disruptions to the classroom, so those are a priority for us. At Luther Burbank High School, we also did some concrete and paving. On the left, you can see the hallway with the broken concrete. We have a picture of during construction that I don't think we have on that one after, because that work is still going on. So maybe on the next cycle, we'll have some additional after pictures. Matsuyama Elementary School was part of our class size reduction program. This isn't the greatest of pictures, but on the left, what we're trying to highlight is the empty space in front of the existing portable, and on the after, you see a new set of portables there. I believe that we installed 3 classrooms there for them. At New Joseph Bonheim Elementary School, it was a paving and concrete project. This is the area just to the left of the entry as you're walking up to the school. It was old and broken asphalt. I think they even discovered an old water main buried in some concrete there, so they were able to take care of that. Picture on the right is during construction. And we changed the plan a little bit, so just instead of putting the same thing back, we actually created a planter box for them, so they have some additional area that they can plant and beautify the school. And it also serves as a place for the students to sit on the retaining wall. Pacific Elementary was a very large paving project. I believe that project was a little over $1 million that we did there. On the picture on the left where the truck is parked, I know that kind of looks like dirt, but it's actually very old concrete. It's all broken up, has weeds coming up through it. We replaced all of that paving in this project. At Peter Burnett Elementary, one of the projects we did there was a window replacement or window repair program. On the left, many of our schools have old windows. They leak. We have to go back and reglaze them constantly. But the picture on the right, we replaced them with new window fixtures. William Land Elementary, this was another very large project. At William Land, we demoed 4 old classrooms. They were the old wooden bungalow style, if you want to call them that. 3 of them were 26 years old, and 1 of them was 61 years old that we removed. So they were replaced with classrooms that we relocated from Freeport Elementary. The picture on the left was where we dug down to create the foundation to place the new structure. On the right is almost the finished product. It has the staircase. It has an elevator for students. The classrooms have been refurbished pretty much inside and out, new stucco. We took care of any issues that might have existed with the air conditioning systems. And they will have 9 classrooms replacing the 4, so that will assist them with their class size reduction as well as their growth in the Mandarin immersion program. This is an interior picture of some of the portables that we used for class size reduction. We had quite a few portables in our inventory that were sort of mothballed. What we did is we took those, we renovated them inside and out, and then placed them at schools that were needed for class size reduction. They had new floors. We took care of any lighting issues, new paint inside and out. They look pretty much new. So we have our construction website up. We are starting to make our updates to that website. I think we have a little bit more work to do on it, so there are some sites that have older information, but we're working through that and updating each of the schools with information, not only on current projects, but what projects will be coming up in the future. And lastly, but certainly not least, I definitely want to acknowledge our hardworking maintenance department, along with our construction services staff, who have truly are a dedicated group of individuals. They've worked many hours, as Member Hanson said, and Member Ryan, putting things together, repairing items for the students when they come back. Our maintenance department has completed over 1,500 work orders this summer, just on the maintenance side. So we're very happy about their work. We're very proud of it. And that actually concludes my presentation. If there's
We have public comment.
Sure. Okay.
We have one public comment from Darlene Anderson.
Darlene Anderson. I don't know how it actually works, but, you know, I've lived in the South area for a long time. And when they chose to close Freeport Elementary School, I thought, well, Edward Kimball and Cesar Chavez really have a lot of students at times. And the impact on the K-3 and the impact on the 4-6 is a real issue because of the number of kids who are in that environment, and they're all poverty kids. But they closed Freeport. Now, Freeport had mostly bilingual students at one time, and there was just such a small number of students when they closed it. But now you're moving the buildings from Freeport. And, you know, when we went to schools by area, we went to schools by area so that by area, community members could come up and speak their concerns. I wondered what was going on with Freeport. But to understand that they took the buildings and took them over there to the more affluent area, it's really disturbing to me because they have not done work over there at Edward Kimball and Cesar Chavez. And that scope of how they educate those children has not changed. And the failure rate coming out of that area has not changed. And so it's really kind of infuriating to me to be living in that area and paying taxes to understand that they would take a building and move it to a more affluent area where people have money and people come out and advocate for their children. When they don't come out and you don't see people in here from Edward Kimball and Cesar Chavez. You really don't. But the failure rate is atrocious. The failure rate for minority kids and children of color in this district is frightening because we're only building the prison population. And I come all the time so I can say, board members, can you look and see how we can achieve some equity and how all children can access resources and kids can come to school and be happy? You know, I made happiness for my children, but it was a struggle. They wondered how come I was always coming to beat up on the district. But I really wasn't. I was coming to ensure that they would have an opportunity in life. Now, it would seem to me that the board would take that responsibility and choose to advocate for children who are not doing well in this district. But that doesn't seem to change the more I come. The more I come is the more defensive the district gets. And all I'm saying is that when the larger numbers start to appear, and African American and children of color, Hispanics and other children of color are not doing well, what will this district actually choose to do? Continue to work on the buildings. And so I'm saying that when you start to think through things, understand how people will actually see them. And I see it as an horrendous thing to take a building where children could have gone to school, where you could have redrew the boundaries and provided more equitable services when we have schools that have less than 300 kids and schools that have 1,200.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Anderson.
you.
Member Rodriguez?
Thank you. So I have a question and then I have a comment back to our last commenter. So I have unfortunately been tied up all summer with my own kids. Proud mommy moment. They made it to championships for their swimming. But so if I go tomorrow, swing by Luther Burbank, can I gain access into see what's going on there? And I'm a little excited to see what's going on there and see the progress that's been made.
At this point, you should be able to get some access, and you know what? If you know a particular time, you can certainly give us, and we'll make sure you have access.
Okay.
You might have to wear a hard hat and a funky vest, but we have them for you.
I'm fine with that. I used to work at Home Depot, so.
Okay. No open-toed shoes.
I used to have to wear orange apron, okay? So, and the other thing is that, Ms. Anderson, I really respect that you come here and you advocate for our children of the district, especially for the community that is so often overlooked and underserved. And in this case, I want to respectfully disagree with you about the building. In fact, the reason why Freeport was looked at for closure is because they counted that vacant building on the property against them. And they used it as additional square footage to say that we could hold more students at that school. So removing the building actually was not a bad thing, and it just brought that school back into an alignment that could serve that community for the amount of population that has been served there in the past. So, and the other thing is the other benefit that the district served by moving that building is we saved a lot of money. Otherwise, we would have had to go out and buy a building to place at that other school. So it was a win-win situation if I can have you look at it that way. So we won over here in this area, and then the other school had a win as well because they needed extra classrooms and extra space, and the district won because we didn't have to spend a lot of money to create that extra building and that extra space. So in this case, it was a good thing.
Great. Vice President Hansen?
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure people understood that the buildings that were brought to William Land actually has about a 90% ethnic student population. About 75% of the students are Title I low-income students, so it's not a wealthy school by any stretch. And I do appreciate you making the note that it is a cost savings for the district for us to use buildings that aren't being used. So that's something we should applaud. And then for any time folks want to stop by and look at the construction at their schools, obviously it's best to tell try to coordinate with the staff, but I haven't seen any problems. And when I've had a chance to do it when I'm driving around and have a few extra minutes, check in with the contractor's office on the site, and they'll give you the helmet and the beautiful orange vest, and then you can kind of stroll around, take a look at it. Just obviously be safe, no open-toed shoes, and then just lastly, just want to thank you for the work, Jim, and thank the staff, and keep your foot on the gas pedal through the rest of August, so keep going.
Exactly. Work's not done for us. We've got several sites that have crews working the rest of the weekends all the way through school opening. And remember, Rodriguez, I'd like to just give you a little bit of information. If you do go by there, some of the things you're going to see is concrete repair. You're going to see asphalt repairs. There were kitchen repairs done at the site as well, pool equipment, along with irrigation improvements. Look for that. I'll have to think about that one.
Member Wu?
I just wanted to pass along to you that Principal Montgomery at Matsuyama was asking maybe if you could install an outdoor sink. They have no water out there.
Oh, you mean a drinking fountain?
No, for washing hands.
Okay, we'll look into that.
I know there's no plumbing, but I think she said she can put a hose out there.
Sure.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, item 10.2, approve AB 1200, disclosure of costs and ratification of the tentative agreement with bargaining unit Teamsters Local 150. Ms. McCarn?
Good evening, board members, Board President Pritchett, Deputy Superintendent Allen, and board members. We are here to ask for the approval of the ratification of the tentative agreement with one of our bargaining units, Teamsters. And speaking of the wonderful work happening at our district schools this summer, which it's exciting to hear how much is really taking place and the hard work of our facilities team. We also want to thank our Teamsters employees. So those are our site plant operation managers, our 12-month employees who work hard to help prepare those sites, all of our school sites, for the start of the school year. The Teamsters tentative agreement, the Teamsters tentative agreement will allow for an increase in the salary schedule for members. It will help reduce the district's unfunded liability by allowing unit members to cash out vacation up to 12 days per school year. This is an increase from the current 8 days to 12 to both assist in the unfunded liability and to allow employees to utilize vacation when they can't actually take it because, again, they're busy getting our schools ready at times, and to allow for some additional flexibility. Also, the number of emergency days will be reduced from the current 3 days down to 2 days. Employees currently have emergency days to utilize prior to their personal leave. Throughout the year, this would go from 3 down to 1. The agreement also adds contract language to allow for transfers. This serves to create language that didn't exist before to help capture the movement and the practice, what's become practice, and tighten up our process a little bit around transfers. We, as you can see in the executive summary, the AB 1200 report, we're asking for you to approve this and want to thank all of the Teamsters, not only for their hard work in the negotiations, but in general for their hard work.
Great. Do we have public comment? Okay. Vice President Hansen.
I'd like to move this item.
If this is an action item, I have a motion and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Great. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay, item 11.0, business and financial information reports we have received. Item 12.0, future board meetings, dates and locations, August 18th, the same time, same place, and September 1st. Item 13.0, we have adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
Okay. I got a motion in a couple of seconds over here. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Woo. All right. We ended 35 minutes early. Good job, guys.